Hi, Jan from Chaos here, talking about the new glints in Corona materials today. If you want to add extra realism and cool effect to your physical materials, let me show you this nice trick. I have a scene with an example shader sphere. I'll turn on interactive rendering to show the car paint material I have applied to it. It is a standard setup with some color, base reflections, and a subtle clear coat, and in this tutorial we're focusing on the glint section down here in the shader, which is a new feature in Corona 15. I'll set the glint amount to 1 so we can clearly see the effect. Immediately the material gains a nice sparkle, with tiny dots reflecting the highlights. To see them better, I'll increase the scaling and lock the U and V coordinates. Now you can see exactly how they look across the surface. These appear as small circles distributed across the surface. Let's experiment with the settings. If I lower the roughness, the highlights concentrate into a single point. Note that if it is roughness or glossiness depends on advanced material properties. The effect is essentially inverted. If I increase the roughness to 0.9, the highlights spread across the entire sphere. I'll keep it around 0.3 to maintain a nice highlight, without it becoming too concentrated. Now let's look at density. Increasing the density makes the glints much more numerous. Density is closely tied to grain size. If I lower the density, the individual circles actually appear larger. Conversely, increasing the density makes them very small. To compensate for this, I'll bump up the grain size slightly, though if I push it too far, they'll start to overlap too much. I'm happy with the size now, but we need to adjust the color, as they're currently just monochrome black and white tones. We have a color switch right here, which I'll set to blue. This shifts the overall glint color, but there are other ways to affect it as well. It is important to mention that the clear coat layer sits above the glint layer in the material hierarchy. Because the clear coat is on top, it can overlay our glints, and if I increase it significantly, it will dominate the look. I'll bring it down to a middle ground and give it a slight blue tint. This further influences the glints. Finally, we have the glint color ramp for more specific control. We can specify custom colors here. I'll create 3 different stops for this ramp. The first will be in the blue range, and I'll put the middle tone toward the green hue. I'll introduce a third color to make things even more interesting, choosing a violet tone. Now you can see violet dots appear sporadically across the shader bowl. I'll distribute these markers more evenly across the ramp for a better blend. You can see the result in the render. Currently, the whole shader looks a bit dark, but we have a tool to fix that. We can offset the output of the color ramp to brighten the effect. So, now returning to the main properties, we also have anisotropy for the reflections. Anisotropy stretches the reflections either horizontally or vertically. I'll leave it at 0 for now, as it doesn't fit the specific look. The sharpness settings regulate how the highlight is distributed within each glint circle. A sharpness value of 1.0 creates distinct high contrast dots. Lowering the sharpness introduces a gradient, making the spots appear much smoother. And I now also want to show you the mapping modes. While it defaults to triplanar, you can switch to UVW mapping to use the object's coordinates. If we use UVW mapping, the glints will follow the object's projection. For example, switching to planar mapping shows the glints mapped onto the top of the sphere. You can also adjust the UVW box size to fine-tune the mapping. I'll switch back to triplanar mapping since I prefer relying on simple scaling for control. It is also worth noting that all these effects can be controlled via textures, either procedural maps or bitmaps, for even more variety. I'm happy with these properties, but one more tip. It's best to let the render run for a while. Glints really start to pop once the anti-aliasing kicks in and has had a few new passes. Now, let's apply this shader to a more realistic model. like this car detail. Using nearly the same settings on the car fender gives us a great result, especially for close-ups. There are many other use cases for glints, such as asphalt or racetracks, for example. Adding glints can simulate those tiny specular highlights you see on the road during a bright sunny day. Another great application is creating realistic snow. You can use glints to mimic the way individual snowflakes catch and reflect the sun, making the surface look much more convincing. Another example might be sand or some other glittery surface. It would be great if you share how would you use these effects in an interesting way. Well, that covers the basics of using glints in Corona. If you'd like to try them, click the link somewhere below in the description to download Corona Trial if you don't have it yet. And if you want to see some more features, click a video that somebody put in the corner somewhere around my head.